Friends, the day is here. The time has come. I cannot believe we are already here. It is 1 year since I have been on YouTube. Can you believe it? Thank you. I'm so excited that we have made it a year. It has been an incredible year. And in today's video, I'm going to give you just some of my thoughts and my word vomit about how it has felt to be on YouTube for an entire year and why you need to be on YouTube too. Friends, so first things first, thank you for coming on this journey with me for this year, for watching my videos, for engaging, for supporting, for challenging me, and really for forcing me to become a better public speaker and better at trying to be concise, although I am the worst at that, and just being a better human overall and in general. There are over 500 of you that are following, subscribed, supporting, and so many more of you, I'm sure, have seen, the videos and have engaged and participated. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for indulging me in being on YouTube, and just thank you. I really couldn't have done all of this without you. And truly thank you to my video editor, Russell at LoveTravelFilm. Their information is at the bottom description of all of my videos in case you are looking for your own YouTube video editor. Thank you, Russell and team, for supporting me and becoming, my new besties down in Florida. Him and his wife and his beautiful daughter are just a wonderful team. And it's been fun getting to know them virtually over the year. And it's amazing what YouTube has brought to me this year. So let's start from the beginning and let's talk about why I did it and why I got on YouTube. And so I started YouTube because I knew I had things to say. I had conversation to be had about instructional design and about learning, and I was ready to be more than just an instructional designer behind the computer screen, like a wizard behind the computer screen. I wanted to be out there, and I knew there was more for me. And I really started to take, envisioning for my future and what life will look like. What do I want life to look like through the years? Where do I want my business to be taken? I really started to take that seriously. And this was part of it. YouTube was part of it. And frankly, it's a really hard platform. Number one, if no one knows you, no one knows you, so people aren't watching your video. And number two, it's really hard to show up and be on camera and to be consistent. I post just about every Wednesday at 8 a.m. I take off around the holiday. Well, and by this, I mean, I did this last year. Shall things be different maybe in the future? Who knows? But anyway, I took off originally, 2 weeks around the Christmas holiday for some time to reflect and refresh and just enjoy that time. New Year's Eve is also my anniversary, so I wanted to be able to enjoy, my anniversary time. But other than that, it's pretty consistent on every Wednesday. A couple of blips because I moved, and it still burns me that I didn't make those videos to batch upload, but that's okay. We've got a whole nother year plus to make up for that. So, yeah, it's been pretty incredible. It's definitely challenging. It's hard to get up and film and be ready to film and not be upset when, things don't work, or an entire half of a video is blurry, or you have to scrap something, or you just don't feel like you don't have that same energy to film. And, I'm a girl. So getting up, getting dressed, putting makeup on, doing my hair, figuring what top I'm going to wear, because you can't usually see pants, although it's usually just leggings. Nothing cool. What does my background look like? This was the hardest thing for me to do when I moved. As you guys saw, some of the videos, it was very different. Sometimes it was bare. Sometimes it was these ginormous ugly bookcases that my husband and I still fight over. But now we're finally in a good place. But all of these things that I didn't think about, I was going to need. Did I need it? No. But yeah, I mean, it all made the experience, and I'm happy that I did it. So let me just give you some advice and some tips and some feedback if you are looking to start YouTube. And I really do think that you should. It's really fun talking to a camera. I have a new friend, my camera here, my Sony. It's going to be coming with me to ATD's conference in Salt Lake City. It travels with me in case I ever want to film on the go. Maybe eventually I'll do a day in the life. But yeah, it's been really fun to pick up a new friend in my camera, and through that, all of you. So some things that I've learned through YouTube that I, have really, it's been a life lesson that I've learned through a lot of things and has really translated to a lot of things that I'm doing. One of the things that's done is better than perfect. And I am, quite frankly, very much of a perfectionist. I'm an Enneagram 3, so I get super nervous about how people are going to perceive me online, or really just anywhere, not just online, but I do get in my head about that. I do, and that is something that I don't like about myself, is that I do, I'm worried about what others are going to think. And that is one of the reasons that it was really hard for me to fully commit to YouTube when I decided to. When I decided in 2019 to think about it, was I going to put it on my vision board? Was I not? It took time for me to say, yes, I'm going to do YouTube. But then I thought all about, people that I love to watch on YouTube and YouTubers that I trust and that they provide their, feedback on things. I'm like, why can't that be me? There's no reason why I couldn't. And I don't have to be perfect, and people aren't going to like you, and that's okay. But again, as long as it's done and it's out there, you could always get better. And it's funny because at the end of this video, I have some flubs and things like that you are going to be able to see. So you'll be able to see my not so perfect moments. Can you see this? But it's something that I actually texted Russell, my editor. I was like, hey, do you have a whole bunch of new flubs? I know you did that one back in January. And he's like, you've actually gotten better, so there aren't as many flubs as there were before. And I'm like, oh, practice does me perfect. Look at me. But yeah, done is better than perfect. Eventually, you'll just keep getting better. Things get better, right? My content gets better. My background gets better. My lighting gets better. My speaking gets better. Things will always get better and get better for you. So if you're new to instructional design and you're paralyzed because you don't know what to create for a portfolio piece, just do it. Just start it, because you can refine later. You can always make it better. No one's ever proud of their first portfolio piece. No one. Promise you that. I can promise you 5 years down the line, everyone looks at their first portfolio piece and they're like, oh, no, it does not look that good. So it's okay. Just do it. Done is better than perfect. And if you never start, you're never going to finish. And I say all the time, I wish I'd gotten more vocal on social media sooner. I wish I started YouTube sooner. There are so many things I wish I'd started sooner, and I just let that perfectionism in me take over, and it stalled me. So don't let that happen to you, y'all. Lighting's everything. So when you're going to create a video, audio and lighting, and we're trying to, my audio is not the greatest. I kind of don't love it, but we're working on it. It's really hard without having a door on my office, but anyway, audio and lighting. So when you're creating videos, and if you want to utilize video in your, instructional design projects, right, in your e-learning courses, for example, I recommended to a client that wanted to do a video on, how you can move up at this organization and how this organization promotes their employees. And I said, okay. I said, it'd be really cool is if you got everyone to share their story on camera. I said, everyone's cell phone is probably one of the best, camcorders. That's aging me. One of the best, video recorders, and has decent audio. My first videos were done on my iPhone. You know, as long as you can look at the little hole and not on the side or at yourself on the screen, that's definitely something that's practice makes perfect. But if you can do those things and have decent audio, like you can have a really good video piece to supplement an e-learning module or really make it personal. So for me, it's lighting. I use softbox lights. I have a ring light. My dog is going to be walking through. Hi, Grunk. So lighting, like for me, that was one of the big things. I just wanted to make sure y'all can see me. It looks good. You can hear me. So you definitely want to just make sure that if you're going to do YouTube, you have some sort of lighting. You can pick up a ring light for really inexpensively on Amazon and just get started with that. And frankly, in the very, very, very beginning, like my first few videos, I didn't have all that light. And you want to know what some of the best light is? Being in front of a window. Truly, natural sunlight is some of the best light. So don't worry about not having a full production situation, a camera, all the things. If you stand in front of a window and you film, it's going to come out pretty good. So don't worry about that. Again, done is better than perfect. So I did a community hour, or I think it was called community hour with TLDC. I can't remember. Maybe around January, February. And it was me, Tom McDowell, and Joe Suarez. And we all have YouTube channels, and it was about YouTube and why we started it and tips that we had and just all the funness about being on YouTube. I will link their channels down below so you can check them out. They are two really awesome people and really cool to get to know. Tom is actually going to be one of the speakers at the Anchored in Learning Virtual Summit. So I'm really excited about that. And he has a really awesome channel with really cool tips and tricks, and so does Joe. But anyway, so we were talking, and I remember Tom saying, like, Vanessa, you just are so consistent. Like, you're always just every week pumping out a new video. How do you do it? And I said, I batch my content. And that is the only way for me to be consistent. And where I don't feel rushed and where I feel like my content is best is when I have time to stop. I script everything. I plan it. So my script is sitting off to the side. And I know what I'm going to be talking about, just like a general outline. And I take, a morning and I just film it all. So about once a week, I film content. Maybe sometimes it'll be 2 videos. Sometimes it'll be 4, depending on what's going on. I typically batch about a month and, 4 videos at a time. And I just make sure I plan my videos out, or my filming day, for when I'm not going to have meetings. I'm not going to be distracted. When my Slack or my email are going to be popping up. So all the distractions get closed in order for me to film. Does it always work? No. Like, for example, I should have batched over a week ago because I was away on vacation last week. Today is Sunday. I have a video that's going to go up on Wednesday. That was filmed just before this. I changed my top and my t-shirt, and I really want it to be fun, so I'm wearing my Nato Shuano shirt that I love so much. And changed my top, and I filmed again. So batching is key for me. Really the only way that I'm going to be consistent. So it all goes up, Russell and team can do their thing, and here we are. So if you decide that you want to do YouTube and you want a way to be consistent, you have to batch. It's something that I also learned from Trina Little, who is a YouTube coach and video strategist, and it's something that just sticks with me. So whether it's YouTube videos or now Reels and TikToks that I'm now doing, which is interesting. I've been like such an observer of them for so long, and I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm being silly and not doing them, but now we're starting to do them. So all those things have to be batched in order for me to be consistent, because once the work days start, and for some reason it's always Wednesday, it's my craziest day lately, but once my weeks start getting crazy and things start piling on, the last thing I want to do is film. And now in this new house, I can't film late at night like I used to be able to at my last house, so I really have to make sure I'm on point with batching content. So want to create YouTube videos? Batch. Another really big tip that I have for you, and something that I learned on YouTube, is the difference between just showing up as the expert, like you're the Beyonce and you know everything, versus serving and servant leadership, and really just listening to your audience. So often I get my video suggestions. I wrote down a whole list of like 50 topics to talk about, 50 things that I know that I could talk about, turn on the camera, have chat, shut it off, and done. But that is only as good as what I think people would want. So what I did was I reached out to a few people, just started looking at what questions were being asked on different Facebook groups, what questions are being asked on LinkedIn, what are things that people are asking over and over again, and answer questions based on what, are in the comments. And that's why I do love if you guys comment, I do request that you give this video a thumbs up if you want to hear about X, Y, and Z, because I want to know that those are things that you actually want to hear about. If it's not, then that's not what I'm going to talk about, because I'm not here to become like an influencer. I'm here to serve. I'm here to, just share my experiences, help someone else. I mean, what good is it to do things and have experiences working and make mistakes and learn from those mistakes if you're also not sharing it with other people? So really just thinking about being a servant leader. And it's something that I think a lot about, and how that ties into my philosophy in my learning projects and my instructional design projects, right? So I don't love going into client engagements being like, I'm the expert, I know everything about everything when it comes to learning, you ain't gonna teach me nothing. No. I sit back and I want to learn. I want to listen, I want to observe, and I want to provide you with my guidance and recommendations based on things that I have done in the past. Does that mean that I know everything? No. But I find that as a consultant, I have gotten farther when I take the opportunity to let my clients feel like the expert in their industry, in their business, in their, in their day-to-day, and I just serve and I provide advice. So does that mean I give away everything? So I make and I don't charge for consulting? No. But there is a lot of great juju and karma that comes back when you are serving as a consultant and serving as an instructional designer. So for example, I am speaking for the Learning Guild at one of their online conferences, vision board going nuts, because the Learning Guild is such a huge community, such a huge professional organization, and for them to see me as someone who can speak about learning development and is, has expertise in that field that is going to provide something of value for their members. I mean, that is incredible and that's insane. That confidence to submit that proposal, and I'm sure they've seen some things of me on, LinkedIn or maybe a couple of YouTube videos, those types of things wouldn't have happened if I didn't have this platform. And it's helped me craft my conference speaking style, craft who I want to be, who I want to show up as, because of the things I'm learning on YouTube, because of, this weekly interaction that we have. So definitely it's important if you're going to want to, start YouTube and or even just provide your expertise and your feedback and ideas about learning development, whether it's through Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. Really listen and do it to serve. Don't do it for yourself, because you know what? This is where I might go off into a small tangent, but the universe knows when you're out there for not pure intentions, and you're just putting yourself out there because you're trying to grow, and it's all about you, and you're not there to serve others truly. When you're truly there to serve others and help them grow in their business, I mean, that's where it all happens. That's where true abundance happens. And it's not just always monetary. It's being able to truly change someone's life. someone on LinkedIn shared that it was a conversation that we had in DMs about instructional design that helped her make the choice to really jump into instructional design, and it's changed the path of her life and path of her career. Like, that means more to me than any dollar amount, right? Because it's helping someone be better, a better version for themselves. It's helping them be happier in their career, which in turn makes them happier in life and more fulfilled as a person, more fulfilled as, a human. And that, to me, is just incredible. So yeah, I'm going off on tangent. Sorry about that. I just have a lot of thoughts and feelings, and I literally want to cry right now thinking about that comment and thinking about the ability to help others. And yeah, it's just pretty incredible when you're able to do that, because you'll get so much abundance out of it. And I'm not just talking about dollar bills, you know. And then my last two things, lessons, and I really do take a lot of these lessons and they do apply to real life. Not every day is going to be a filming day. Not every day is going to be a perfect day. Not every day, like, as my to-do list is written, is what's going to happen. And boy, does that bother me. I did a video when I first moved here. I had gotten all dressed. I had a really lovely blue top. I was really excited. And I like filmed it. I finished it and I watched it back. And I remember texting Russell. This was like in the beginning of my move. And I text Russell and I'm like, nope, we're not doing it. I said, I even uploaded it, I think, to Dropbox. And I said, no, we're not doing it. I said, I'm just not feeling myself. Or maybe he said something to me about it. I forget. And I just said, you know what? I'm trying to force myself to put something out there that I'm not even remotely happy with. And that's not cool. That's not right. Just to get it done, that's inappropriate. And it was hard too, because I felt like I threw away a filming day and then I didn't meet my deadline to have a video for that week. And that was really tough for me. So it was really hard for me to not be able to like upload that week and to scrap something that I'd worked so hard on. But it's necessary. And sometimes you just have to take like that step back in order to provide a deliverable or provide something to, your client that is better and really truly what they deserve, and what your best is. So not every day is going to be a filming day. Not every day is going to be a perfect day, but it's okay. The next day will be better. And you know what? The next time I filmed that video, it was better and it went up. And I wish I could tell you which one it was, but I don't remember. But anyway, definitely take a lot from that experience into work and into life. And then my last thing, get help. You don't have to do it all alone. And it's hard for me. I think it's also kind of a freelancer mindset, frankly. It's like, if I do it all, I don't have to spend money on this, that, or the other, or I keep all of the money that I make on this project. But you want to know something? Doesn't work like that. And I can double my productivity, and I can just be happier and double my life and my satisfaction if I'm able to bring in people for help, right? So bringing in a video editor was critical. If I had to do the filming and then the editing and then all the work that I have to do for Anchor to Training, you wouldn't get consistent videos. It wouldn't happen. I know it. I need help. I can do the recording, I could provide the videos, I can provide the feedback. I just couldn't do the editing and take the time for that. And that was the only way I knew I was going to be consistent. The same principle applies to work. I know, like, I'm bringing in an admin in the next couple of weeks. I started bringing in, I have a director of learning experience design who can help me worry about the projects and worry about the visioning and the learning of every project, because you know what? I cannot do it all alone. And I needed the help in order to be able to do all the things I needed to do to level up in my business. And it definitely was a freelancer mindset for me to like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it all because I'm like, well, that's all more money in my pocket, so I can go pay my kids' daycare and this and that. But because I've been able to ask for help, bring in help, I'm actually able to spend more quality time with my family. I was able to take a week off and really not work too much. I was able to, I'm able to do the sales stuff and help with the marketing and put myself out there, do more stretch projects, right? Write courses, write this, write that, because I have that help. And they are all things and projects that I know will make an impact. It's not an immediate impact in that moment, right? But it's an impact that's going to be made in the future, where I'm going to be thankful for all that time that I spent working on that. So definitely get the help that you need. Get as much help as you can afford is something. I listen to the Biz Chicks podcast, and that's something that they talk a lot about, and I have to definitely agree with that. Get as much help as you can afford, and there are ways to get that help in order to, help you create what you need to create. So, yeah, I definitely recommend getting that help and just really, doing what you can to enjoy that quality time that you're not working, because I do the thing where I work all night, and I notice that it affects all my days. It affects my relationships, my family. It affects, how I show up, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to live a fulfilled life. Do I think that there's work-life balance? No, I think sometimes work takes priority over life, and sometimes life takes priority over work. But getting that help is definitely a step in the right direction to ensure that my mental health is on point and on track. So definitely do that if you can. And now, if only I had a drum roll, like Jesus. Anyway, to go back to done is not perfect, to show you that we all have mess ups. We don't show up perfect every single day. Here are some of my flubs from my year of filming YouTube. Thank you so much for watching all of my videos. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for participating. And I cannot wait to see where year 2 takes us. Bye, friends. Okay. Oh, a little burp. Excuse me. Not that this has smell-o-vision. That's my daughter flushing the toilet. Good times. Thanks, Gianna. Cheers to the vibes. Jesus Christ, with the hair in my mouth. The freelance learning. Click the link in my description. Click the link it. Why can't I get this last effing line? So, are you ready to take the next step and launch your instructional? Can I effing talk today? Quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. That was like a super loud, disgusting sip. And on this channel, nope. Why can't I get this out right now? It's probably because it's fucking 10 o'clock at night. Sorry, I need like a minute. Oh God. Ow. Okay, so about to go to a wedding in 20 minutes. Let's see how this goes. I don't know where I'm going with this. Probably should follow my script. Been a while. I am like on a roll today. My dog just walked in. Rude. But they're also different. But they're also different. What the fuck?